Okay, so we are ready. Right. So we are in the chapter 11. Let us pay obeisance to Sri Radha Govinda. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Nanakashalakaya Chakshulmetam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Pada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnav Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vittam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakana Vittamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dino Bandho Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpaturabhyascha Kripa Sindhave Evacha Patitam Nam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadeshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So let us begin. So what we did last week, we were looking at the chapter 10, okay, where Krishna gave, he says that he is the origin of everything. He, and even others like Brahma or Shiva or other devatas do not understand because they have been created, no? So they are not the origin. So to know the position as the origin of everything, you have to be a pure devotee. And then we looked at the 4 slokas. That is the Chatu Sloki, 10.8 to 10.11. That is, gives the essence of this Bhagavad Gita. Okay. There, the Krishna says only by devotional, the devotees who are convinced that he is the Sarvam, he is the everything. He is the pervading everywhere, and Krishna is everything. He is the origin and he is Sarvashvya. So, knowing that, they do devotional service. They are fully devoted to him, and their only business is to talk about him, glorify him, and with their associates and Preeti Purvakam. They love him so much. So they're all the time in it. So he says they dwell in me all the time. And how does he reciprocate? He reciprocates to them by giving them the understanding to go back to him. So only when you're in devotional service, you're able to get the Lord's mercy. And he says, out of his compassion, he gives them special mercy. That is to Jnana Dipena. That is, he will destroy their ignorance in their heart with the shining knowledge, lamp of knowledge. Jnana Dipena. So, we get the mercy from him only by our sincere devotional service. So, this is what, so how, here it's like, it's Vedas is like a manual, how to live in this world and all that. But Bhagavad Gita gives us the knowledge to go back to the Lord. Here Krishna is telling us how to go back to him. So only by his mercy, that is by being devoted to him, devotional service, he will reciprocate accordingly, giving us the understanding to go back to him and destroy our ignorance. So finally Arjuna now is accepting. He says, I understand now your Param Dhamma Param thing. He fully surrenders. He says, now my ignorance has been cleared. And he says, I know your true position and our true position to him. So he completely accepts him. And then he requests him to show, he wants to hear more about him, about his opulences. So finally, when Krishna says, And the last verse, he says, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. So now he wants to see that all pervasive form of it. He says, I pervade everywhere. Like the sunshine is there everywhere. No? You can feel it all over the place. So he says, I would like to see that pervasiveness of you. That he says, I am pervasive. So now Krishna actually is driving Arjuna's chariot there in the battlefield, isn't it? But though he's doing it, he's still pervading and supporting the entire world. So Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all-pervading form. So Arjuna requests to Krishna to reveal his universal form. That is the thrust of this chapter. Okay. So this chapter has 5 sections, 11.1 to 11.8, which is the request by Arjuna and Krishna's description of his universal form. Okay. Then from line to 31, you see that Sanjaya's description of the universal form. Because Sanjaya is also seeing it. He's there seeing from the beginning. He's been narrating the entire the discussion between Sambhashana between Arjuna and Lord Krishna to Dhritarashtra. So he is also going to see this universal form. Then from 30 to 34, he talks about how he is Kalosmi. Time I am, become my instrument. Be by Nimitra Matram. 11.35 to 46 is the Arjuna's prayers. How? Now he is totally bewildered and thinking, and he prays to the Lord. He is now understands the Krishna's mission and purpose. Then from 47 to 55, only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-arm form. So these are the 5 sections here. So let us go into each one. So the request, Krishna's description thing. So in this, we see the Arjuna's request, Krishna to show him that all-pervading form which he spoke of in chapter 10. First describes his form and then shows it. Okay. But Arjuna cannot see this universal form as he is. So Krishna has to give him the divine eyes. Arjuna uvacha mad anugraha paramam guhyam adhyatma samjinitam yet tvayoktam vachas tena mohaham vigata mama. Arjuna, I have heard your instruction on confidential spiritual matters, guhyam adhyatma samjitam, which you have so kindly delivered unto me. And my illusion is now disappeared. So it's not that Krishna is going to show his form to convince Arjuna. Okay, it's not for that reason. Why is he showing? He's showing because he asked him, requested, and he's showing is not to convince Arjuna. Arjuna is already telling that my illusion is now dispelled. Okay, so how it is dispelled? By hearing everything that Krishna has said, is illusion. So this is the effect of hearing. So that's the most confidential knowledge. Whatever the transcendental knowledge can be understood only by hearing. He keeps on telling, Tashunu. And that is the only way to understand this knowledge. Okay. So, and how is, because he has, supremacy has been revealed, and he has told about his energies, how he is the cause of all causes for the material nature. Then he talked about the living entities. We are the marginal potencies. Then how about the demigods and all the incarnations, how this Mahatattva, Mahavishnu, and how this whole creation has come, and he is the creator, cause of everything. Cause of creation, annihilation, maintaining, and everything has. So now all is dismissing, and how is it dispelled? Now Arjuna recognized that by power of Krishna's grace, by saying only his illusion got dispelled, because gave him the Jnana Dipena. That Krishna is an ordinary friend or human being, that illusion is gone. So now he is the supreme being. He is the cause of all causes. So this is by hearing this confidential knowledge, he knows that he is the supreme personality of Godhead, the origin of everything. Okay. So he says, my illusion has dispelled. Then he wants to show, but then if it is dispelled and he understood everything, then question comes why he wanted this universal form to be shown. Okay. Oh, lotus eye, I've heard from you in detail about the appearance, disappearance of every living entity. Okay, so I think as realized through inexhaustible glories. Yes, so now he knows about his appearance, disappearance, and then the greatest of all personalities, O supreme form. Though I see here before me your actual position, I yet wish to see how we have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. See, this universal form, the way the cosmic world has come up, he wants to see how he's pervading in this cosmic world. Okay. If you think that I'm able to behold a cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self. So he is not dictating to the Lord, he is requesting him. If I'm eligible to see, that is the qualification. Okay, if I'm eligible to see it, please bestow me this wish. And do you think this universal form is permanent form of the Lord? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji.
Yeah, so it is because only when there's a cosmic world manifestation, that's when this manifestation comes into the form. Okay, so this universal form is not his permanent form. So he expresses desire to see the form which why he does it, to establish Krishna's divinity for all of it. This is actually for our purpose. For why? See, when we say Bhagavad Gita is for us, it's not just for thing. Here, this clearly shows that it is to understand the divinity of Krishna. Then to convince others, although he does not have any personal desire, he is completely satisfied to see him in person because he's a true friend of the Raja and a true devotee. No? Lord Krishna keeps telling it. So he doesn't need it, but he wants us to be convinced. And also it's like a criteria that a lot of people, imposters are there not to say, they show some mystic power and say, I am the God, I've done meditation and now I've got this, I'm the God here and things. So if they are that, then they should be able to show this universal form. Okay. So there's a criteria has been set so that in the future there'll be so many imposters who will pose as incarnations, and this has to be avoided. And for us to check. Arjuna wants to substantiate Krishna's statement that Krishna not only theoretically or philosophically, but actually showed it. It's not just hearing the theory or just giving a philosophical explanation, but by showing his universal form, he establishes his supremacy. Okay? So, and he pleads and he doesn't order to see Krishna form. So this is the qualification. So only by revelation, by the mercy of the Lord, and it is not possible by mental speculation or perception by our material senses. Okay, and here is addressed as Yogeshwara. So only by his mercy can we see his form. Then, so the Lord, now what does the Lord say? He says, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, behold now my opulences, that is hundreds of thousands of very divine forms, multicolored like the sea. Okay. Now he says, now he's describing how his opulence, how his universal form would be. O best of the Bharata, see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Vasus. There are 9 Vasus, then Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, 4 Ashwini Kumaras, sons of Brahma, then all of the demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. So this is very important to know. That is, till now, no one has ever seen, nor the Devatas, nor Brahma, nor Shiva. So they have not seen this universal form at all. So he says, there's so many wonderful things which no one has seen or heard of before. And in this form, whatever thing is speciality, whatever you wish to see can be seen all at once in this body. This universal form can show you all that you now desire as well as whatever you may desire in the future. Everything is there completely. Okay. but you cannot see with your present eyes. Therefore, I give to you your divine eyes by which you can see. Till now, he is only looking at Krishna as his friend, as his thing. So he can't, when the person is so opulent, then what happens when we are in the presence of such an opulent person, then we won't be so intimate, isn't it? But he is intimate already with the Krishna. So with that intimation, he'll only look at him as with his love, prema jnana. So his glance will be always full of love and devotion. So if he has to see this opulence, he has to be given a divine eyes so that he could see from, not with that intimacy, but to see it from afar, like, So he says, Natu mam sakshas dashtum anaiva swa chakshusha divyam dadami che chakshushu pashyami yogam aishvara. So now therefore I give you divine eyes, behold my mystic opulence. So after giving him that only, he shows his universal form. So Lord Krishna responds by offering to show Arjuna is opulence, all his variegated forms, wonderful forms. And he also says he has never seen or heard of this before. And vision of the entire universe, like in a panoramic view, he'll get sitting in the chariot. Krishna is also sitting there and he displays his universal form. And vision of the past, present, and what is going to come, everything is Kala. And for that, he gets the thing. Actually, these divine Vishnusi is a lower level vision according to Acharyas, because if they are not with love, they are people who are intimate to the Lord, they don't want to see this universal form. So now we'll learn of Sanjaya's district, because he is also seeing the universal. So whoever had the divine eyes, whoever has been given that, they also could see from the other universes also. So now we are going to see here the description by Sanjaya about all the form of opulences. So Sanjay Uvacha Evam Uktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwara Harihi Dashyamsa Partaya Paramam Rupam Aishwar. O King, speaking thus, the Supreme, the Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna, to Partha. Okay, so now Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wonderful. The form was decorated with divine, dazzling ornaments, arrayed in many garbs. He was garlanded gloriously, and there were many scents smeared over his body. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. So even he could smell it. He could smell the sense, smeared over the body. It was real, it was not like a dream, that everything you could see the form. It was not like a imagination or hallucination. Even you could smell it. You could smell, you could see the ornaments, you could see the unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes. He was garlanded gloriously, and everything was magnificent, so expanding. Unlimited. Okay, he couldn't see where the beginning was or that. And like if the sun, hundreds of thousands of suns rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that. So it was so dazzling, so as though the whole sun, so many suns have come at once into the sky like that. The whole thing was lit up and it was smelling beautifully. And he could smell, he could see, and it was dazzling and it was wonderful. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. So he could see all the universes around, This was not just his, he could see the other planets also, higher planets below, lower planets and everything. And he could see all the devatas and everyone. And thus bewildered and astonished, he says, standing on it, Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisance to him. See, other time in chapter 1 also we see, that his hair was standing on. That time he was for compassion. He was bewildered by his compassion, and he was thinking, how come I have to kill all these people, these are my relatives and things. So that was a compassion. But now his hair is standing is because of his adbhuta. He's now, the rasa has changed, He's now adbhuta, that is astonished. He couldn't believe. See, one thing is to hear about it and to actually see it. So he was astonished to pray, and he started praying with folded hands. That naturally will come, when you see something opulent, you will naturally bend down and to see pray the thing. So we have 5 rasas, primary rasas, Santa rasa, Dashya rasa, Sakya, Vatsalya, and thing. But we have 7 other secondary rasas also, where it is Hasya, Adbhuta, wonder, chivalry, that is Veera, Karuna, compassion, then Raudra, anger, Bibhasta, disaster, and Bhaya, that is fear. So we have that, it's given in Madhurya, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 19. You can see the description of these mellows, of the Lord experienced. So there are 5 direct one and 7 indirect. And here we see Adbhuta. So speaks is realization of the universal form. So he's been explaining it. My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled together in your body all the demigods. You could see and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and many sages and divine serpents like Vasuki, Anantasesha, and all that. O Lord of the universe, I see in your universal body many forms, bellies, mouths, eyes, expanded without limit. There is no end and there is no beginning and there is no middle to all this. So he couldn't see where it was starting and where it was ending. Everything was there in front of him. And with dazzling light and smell and power. Your form adorned with various crowns, clubs and discs is difficult to see because of his glaring effulgence, which is fiery and immeasurable like the sun. Okay. And then he says, you're the supreme primal objective. You're the best in all the universes. You're inexhaustible. You're the oldest. You're the maintainer of religion, eternal personality of Godhead. So you're the origin without beginning, middle, or end. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are among your great unlimited eyes. By your own radiance, you are heating up this entire universe. You could feel the heat, you could smell, and you could see, this opulence. Okay. Arjuna's description of Kala. Now you are going to see, because he is also seeing the destructive form also. How he is destroying the thing. See, the fire is coming out of, and you could see, although you're one, you're spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space within. As I hold this terrible form, I see that all the planetary systems are placed. See, Krishna says, that nobody has ever seen this or heard about it before. So even from the other planets, you could see them all bewildered, like him. They were all surprised to see, and they were just wondering what's happening. And when they see all the living entities entering into his mouth and the fire coming out, and they could see the ferocious feature of the Lord also. And so he says all the demigods are surrendering and entering into you. They're very much afraid, and with folded hands, they're singing the Vedic hymns. So he could smell the Lord, he could hear now he could hear the Vedic hymns sung by the demigods, okay? And he could see the different forms and glaring effulgence, and he could feel the heat. Now he could even hear the Vedic hymns, okay? And then all the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, Rudras, Adityas, Vasus, Satyas, Devas, the 2 Ashwinis, Kumaras, the Marutus, forefathers, Gandharvas, from all different lokas, Yakshas, Asuras, and perfected demigods are all beholding you in wonder. So they are not seen through Arjunas, they are also getting the benefit of seeing this universal form of the Lord, okay? And all the planets with the demigods are disturbed at seeing your many faces, arms, bellies, and legs, and your terrible teeth, and so they are disturbed as I. So you could see that It was not like a dream, and he could see others are also disturbed because he was himself disturbed. He was not uh, uh, anticipating to see such a wonderful form. Okay, he was also disturbed, and it was that ferocious one also he was seeing. And where all pervading Vishnu, I can no longer maintain my equilibrium. Seeing your radiant colors fill the sky and beholding your eyes and mouths, I am afraid. So he was scared. Now, first he was Adbhuta, he was seeing the wonders of the thing, and later he was getting scared. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with the allied kings and Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, Karna, and all the soldiers are rushing into your mouths. Their heads are smashed by a fearful teeth. I see that some are being crushed with their teeth as well. So that was like so terrible to see such a ghastly scene, that all, even we could see Bhishma getting into his mouth, Dronacharya, Karna, Jayadatta, everyone, and they were all rushing into their mouths, and all his soldiers are getting there and they are being crushed between their teeth. So as the rivers flow into the sea, so all these great warriors enter into your blazing mouths and perish. So I see all rushing into speed with your mouth as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. It was too much. So fierce a form. Please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisance unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So seeing him all this ferocious form where people are entering into his mouth and he's crushing in between the teeth. No, it was terrible. And he couldn't, and it was so warm, it was scorching heat. And he says, who are you in fact? What is your mission? What are you? He says, I am annihilator, but here is really, he could see the destruction in front of him. So in fear, he's asking these two questions. Who are you? And what is your mission? Why Arjuna asked these questions? He knew Krishna as his friend and supreme personality, but he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Okay. Till now, you all have any doubts, Hare Krishna? Anything to be clarified? So shall I proceed? Okay. Anytime you please ask, you can stop me, so we can go over that. Okay. So.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Mataji.
Okay, right. Kalosmi lokashaya krit. I am become my instrument. So now Krishna is telling, the blessed Lord said, time I am destroyer of the worlds, and have come to engage all people, with the exception of you. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So this is what was his plan. It was master plan that he brought everybody onto the Kurukshetra, okay, in the one place, so that it could put an end to all the living entities, because they were all puffed up with pride, with wealth, and they were all into the sins, and it was the world was getting burdened by their activities. So he had to bring them everybody together and destroy. So annihilation could take place, and he could restore the religion, Dharma, through Pandavas. So with the exception of few Pandavas, all soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So he brought their time, because he can control the time. He can control the Kala. Okay, so he is the Kalosmi. And he can reduce their lifespan also. If they want, he can expand, or he can even reduce it. So he brought them everything together and shortened them so that he can destroy. They were destroying the thing. Tasmat, therefore, Tvam Uttishta Yasho Labhasva Jitva Satram Bhunkshu Rajam Samrudha. So Nimitta Matram Bhava Savasha. So what he says, therefore get up and prepare to fight. After conquering enemies, you will enjoy flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, successing, can be but an instrument in the hand. So we are just an instrument in this hand. So we have to accept. See, the plan of the Lord, there will be old age, there will be diseases, and there will be death and rebirth. So this is the plan of the Lord, and it is there. So we have to just accept it and go along with the plan of the Lord. So just thinking why we have to be died, why we have to suffer, why we have, so that is not, but this is the plan. He has got it and it's there in the nature. So we have to go along with the plan of God. So we have to be an instrument in this fight, in this world. So Dronam cha, Bhishmam cha, Jaidrantam cha, Karnam tatanyam api yoda viran, Maya atam stvam jahima vaivastishta. Yudhashva jetasa rane sab. So Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, all the great warriors have already been destroyed by me. So therefore kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So Krishna has already told him the end also, what is in the future also. Okay, they're all be killed. And he knows that. And he's already them. It's their plan. It's a plan of Krishna. So all you're doing is only killing their bodies. So why be disturbed? You simply fight and you'll vanquish your enemies. So Krishna answers the questions. Time I am with Kalarupa. And the mission is to destroy everything, all the people except Pandavas. And even if did not to fight, they will die anyway. So anyway, they will die. So whether he fights or not fights, it is already destined. So all Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme as the all devouring giant. Okay. So this is the universal form. And I've already destroyed all your enemies, become my instrument and fight and win glory. So Krishna is saying he has done already. His only Arjuna's motivation is to fulfill Lord's desire. And his plan is very specific. And you can see the whole world is moving under the plan of the Lord. Only we fools, we think we are doing the thing, the plan. There's no plan behind the creation or everything is accidental, nothing. And even scientists say, no, the whole thing, the Darwin's, that all came up and the Big Bang theory. Only they come with theories saying perhaps it could be like this, maybe it is like this. But here we have clear-cut explanation by the Lord. So everything is working under the thing. So we have to only become an instrument. Nimitta matra. Okay. Savyash means Savyash means you one who can fight with left hand as well as with the right hand. So Arjuna is a expert in things. So now he's telling you just become an instrument in me, in my plan and fight. Okay. So are we having some time? Shall we finish it up or we can take, okay, so only we have some time. So now Arjuna is praying. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of God, Arjuna trembled fearfully, offered obeisances with folded hands and began faltering to speak as follows. So when hearing this, he was very fearful. The Lord becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfect beings offer you their respectful image, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this, right? So he understands now everything. So he says, perfected beings will offer you homage, and everyone is attached to you because they are joyful. Whereas the demons are always afraid. They are they can't accept the Lord's opulence. Okay. Oh great one who stands above even Brahma, you are the original master. Why should they not offer their homage to you? Oh refugee of the, you are the invisible source, cause of all causes. Okay. You are the original personality, the Godhead. You are the only sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You know everything and you are all that is noble. You are above the material modes. Oh limitless one, this whole cosmic world is pervaded by you. So he is accepting everything. You're the air, you're the supreme controller, you're fire, you're water, you're the moon, you're Brahma, first living, and you're the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectable obeisance unto you 1,000 times again and again. So he is offering beautiful prayers, accepting the Lord's name. Obeisance to you from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbounded power, you're the master of limitless mind. You're all pervading and thus you're everything. So finally, is accepted. And it keeps coming repeatedly. He can't stop repeating the whole thing. He is so fearful and he's so this thing, to look at the Lord like that. So his prayers are repeating the whole thing. You're the ultimate rest of everything and all knowledge. You're the essence of everything. I offer you obeisance from front, behind, and from all directions, from all sides. And then he becomes, let us careful, because he was till now, as a friend, and he would have done a lot of casual remarks and all that. So he's telling, I've in the past addressed you as, oh Krishna, oh Ayadava, oh my friend, without knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I've dishonored you many times by relaxing or by lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone, sometimes friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. So now is morose. He wanted to know whether he had things. So you're the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and unmoving. You're its worshipable chief, supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds? So he is accepting his supremacy. You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend, the impotence of a friend or husband, the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. So he is asking humbly for any wrong he would have done. After seeing this universal form, which I've never seen before, I'm gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, Lotus. So now he becomes so first it was wonder, then it became fearful bhaya, and now he's disturbed by the fear. So he wants him to show his four-handed form and the thing. So he requires to withdraw the fearsome form. It was showing the cholasmi, all people entering into his mouth and dying and being crushed to death and all that. It was quite fearful to see. So he wants to see the four-handed form, that all the forms are one with Krishna. So different Narayanas are named according to the different configurations of the scene. Narayana, you have in his hand lotus, disc, then the Gada and the Shankha. So in which position it is, like, it has 4, means there will be 24 positions, and it has got different names. The Narayans are named according to the different configurations. So indicates Arjuna is afraid and joyful simultaneously. Joyful because he is gladdened by knowing his friend's opulence as Supreme Personality of Godhead and his ability to show the universe. And afraid because of so many offenses he might have committed unknowingly. His temporary form, but why? Please. Okay. So universal is the temporary form, but Vaikuntha form is transcendental. Okay. So please take care of your thing. Krishna can assume any form as he is asked here to show his knowledge. So Krishna understands this, and universal, I wish to see in your four-handed form with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. So Arjuna is requesting it. Then Krishna will withdraw his universal form. My dear Arjuna, happily I have shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form with the material world. No one before you has ever seen this form, unlimited and full of glaring influence. So he confirms that nobody has seen. Okay, now how even by studying the Vedas they can see, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charities or similarities. Only you have seen this because you are a true devotee. Okay. So you have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can see the form you desire. So he's saying, I show you the form. So in the same time, he showed his 400 form as well as 200 form. Okay. So now Sanjay is seeing that, says to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Person of the Godhead, while speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his real 400 form and at last showed him his 200 form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. So he is the Lord. He could show any form he want, and he showed the Narayana form as well as the Shamsudra form. Okay. So that appeased Arjuna. And Arjuna saw thus, Krishna in his original form said, "Oh Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, now I am composed in mind. I am restored to my original nature." Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is so dear. So you are very fortunate to see this. Whereas, so through Arjuna, now even the demigods and everybody could see the Narayana form, and so they also got benefited through Arjuna. Okay. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It's not by these means that one can see me as I am. Okay. So we have to get this opulence. So I can be understood as studying you, and thus we've seen that only in this way you can, only by devotional service, you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Okay, Bhaktya hi Ananyasya Sakhya. So now he's telling about the Krishna's thing. Mad karma in katma paramo, mad bhakta sangha vajjita, nirvaire sarva bhukteshu, sameti pan. My Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, friendly to everyone, certainly comes to me. So only through pure devotional service we can go back to him, and not by mental speculation or by, you have to be friendly to everyone. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Mad karma katkrit paramo makes me engaged in doing my work, makes me the Mad paramo. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engaged in my devotional service, free from contaminations of fruitive acts and karmis and jnanis, friendly to all beings, you get back something this. So only most purified devotional service, free from jnana and karma, executed without envy, can bring one to understanding of the Supreme Person. So he ends with this. So we saw all that thing and the prayers. Okay. Is there any doubt in the